Welcome back to Vibe Vision. Today we're diving into one of the rawest and most iconic muscle cars to ever roll out of Detroit, the 1969 Plymouth Road Runner. This was a car built for the purist, a machine that cut through the clutter of luxury and frills, focusing instead on what really mattered: power, sound, and speed. The Road Runner wasn't about polish or pretense. It was about delivering a no-nonsense muscle car at a price the everyday driver could afford. And in 1969, it became a legend. Let's start with the exterior because the Road Runner's look is what makes it instantly recognizable even decades later. The '69 Road Runner carried forward the clean lines from its introduction in 1968, but received a few styling tweaks that made it even sharper. The front end is bold and unmistakable, dominated by a wide rectangular grille flanked by dual headlights on either side. The center divides the grille into two sections, giving the car a no-nonsense face that tells you exactly what it's here to do. There's no mistaking it for anything else, and that was part of its charm. This wasn't a dressed-up luxury coupe. It was a straightforward muscle car. The body is pure Mopar muscle. Strong, straight lines run down the length of the car, with subtle curves at the wheel arches that emphasize its stance. Plymouth offered the Road Runner in coupe, hardtop, and convertible forms, but the coupe is what most people picture when they think about this model. The proportions are spot on for a muscle car of its era: long hood, short deck, and a stance that just feels ready to launch. And of course, Plymouth had fun with it, adding the famous Road Runner cartoon graphics and the horn that literally went beep, beep, tying the car's personality to the famous Looney Tunes character. That sense of humor set it apart from other muscle cars that took themselves a bit too seriously. Walking around the car, you notice the details that define late '60s muscle. Chrome bumpers, simple round taillights at the rear, and very little in the way of unnecessary trim. It was minimalist by design, and that's what gave it so much attitude. Plymouth was marketing this car to the younger buyer who wanted performance without paying for extras they didn't care about. The available paint colors added to the Road Runner's charm, with bold, high-impact hues like vitamin C orange, limelight green, and B5 blue giving the car a flashier presence if you wanted it. Many buyers went with blacked-out steel wheels and dog-dish hubcaps, giving the car a stripped-down, ready-to-race look. But what really made the Road Runner an icon wasn't just the exterior, it was the performance hiding under the hood. Plymouth equipped the Road Runner with some serious firepower. Standard was the 383 cubic inch V8, tuned to deliver 335 horsepower, a strong number for a base engine. This motor gave the car the perfect balance of affordability and muscle, enough to put a grin on your face every time you stepped on the gas. But for those who wanted more, Plymouth offered options. You could step up to the legendary 426 HEMI, delivering 425 horsepower, or the 446-barrel setup with 3 two-barrel carburetors, pumping out 390 horsepower. The Road Runner wasn't about sophisticated handling or refinement. It was about straight-line performance, and it delivered in spades. Car and Driver tested a 1969 model with the HEMI and found it could rocket from 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds, an incredible figure for the time. Quarter-mile runs in the low 13s were possible right off the showroom floor. Even the base 383 cars had plenty of punch, making them more than capable of dusting off competitors at stoplights. The sound of the Road Runner was another part of its magic. Mopar big blocks had a throaty, aggressive rumble that let everyone within earshot know what was coming. The exhaust note was raw, unfiltered, and pure muscle car music. Paired with either a 4-speed manual or a 3-speed torque-flight automatic, the Road Runner gave drivers an experience that was visceral and thrilling. Shifting through the gears, feeling the torque push you back into the seat, and hearing that exhaust roar, it was everything a muscle car fan could want. Handling, as you might expect, was not the Road Runner's strong suit. It rode on a relatively simple suspension setup with leaf springs in the rear, which made it more of a straight-line warrior than a corner carver. But that was never the point. The Road Runner was built to be affordable and fast in a straight line, and on that front, it absolutely succeeded. It had power-assisted brakes as an option, but many came with standard drum brakes, meaning you had to plan ahead when stopping. Still, for the era, this was par for the course. and it only added to the car's raw driving experience. Moving inside, the Road Runner's interior told the same story as the exterior and performance: simplicity over luxury. The dashboard was straightforward, with basic gauges giving you the essentials like speed, fuel level, and temperature. There wasn't much in the way of fancy trim or plush materials. In fact, part of how Plymouth kept the price down was by keeping the cabin sparse. Vinyl bench seats were common, though you could upgrade to buckets if you wanted. The emphasis was on function rather than comfort. This wasn't a car you bought for long highway cruises and quiet luxury. It was a car you bought because you wanted to feel every vibration of that V8 engine under the hood. Despite its simplicity, there was a certain honesty about the interior. It fit the personality of the car. You didn't feel cheated out of luxury. You felt like you were in a machine built for speed with nothing to distract you. That was the appeal. And of course, Plymouth still managed to slip in its sense of fun, with Road Runner decals and even that famous beep, beep horn, reminding you that this was a car that didn't take itself too seriously. The 1969 Plymouth Road Runner became an instant hit because it gave people exactly what they wanted: a true muscle car experience at a price that was accessible. At the time, you could buy a Road Runner for around $3,000, making it one of the best performance bargains of the muscle car era. Its combination of aggressive looks, big horsepower, and playful personality made it a standout in a crowded market. Today, the '69 Road Runner is considered one of the greatest muscle cars ever made. Collectors prize them, and values have climbed steadily, especially for models with the 426 HEMI. But even the 383-powered cars hold a special place in the hearts of enthusiasts because they represent what the muscle car movement was really about: affordable performance, unfiltered driving excitement, and a sense of fun. The legacy of the 1969 Plymouth Road Runner lives on not just in car shows and auctions, but in the culture of American performance cars. It's a reminder that sometimes less really is more. Strip away the unnecessary frills, give drivers a big engine, a tough-looking body, and a fair price, and you have a recipe for success. That's exactly what Plymouth did, and the result was a car that still makes people smile more than 50 years later. Here at Vibe Vision, we celebrate machines that left a permanent mark on car culture, and the '69 Road Runner is exactly that. It's raw, it's loud, it's unapologetic, and it's one of the purest expressions of what a muscle car should be.